Y'all ready for me? All right, let's get it. What's good, YouTube fam? You know who it is, man. It's your favorite, Trev and I'm here with another video. Before we even get into it, you know what you gotta do. You gotta like and subscribe for me, man. You see the title of the video. You see the title, so you know what I'm gonna talk about, all right? I'm gonna talk about why I chose to become a nurse instead of becoming a doctor. These two professions are not comparable. It's just a question that, I get a good amount of times. And I want to start by saying this is in no way to shade medical school, to shade the medical route, to shade doctors. Doctors are very important. I love the doctors that I work with. You understand what I'm saying? This is no shade at all. But obviously, I am a nurse. So some of the reasons I give are going to be kind of biased. And it's going to lead towards the nursing route because that's why I chose it, right? So I just want to say that real quick, throw that in there, For those of you who don't know, I'm first generation Nigerian American. Both my parents were born and raised in Nigeria and migrated here in their adult years. So if you know Nigerians, you can guess that I was pressured to become a medical doctor my entire life. Like literally, to this day, I still get sat down by my mom sometimes and she's like,
"Why don't you become a medical doctor? You're wasting your time. You want to stay as RN when you can be MD."
Like stuff like that all the time. So, being a doctor has been like pressed on me for a while, and still I chose to become a registered nurse, and I'm gonna tell you why, right? So the first reason why I chose to become a registered nurse instead of becoming a medical doctor is for the financial side of things, When you go to school to become a medical doctor, it takes a very long time and it's expensive. So me, I'm a numbers person. I'm always thinking of numbers. I'm thinking in terms of an investment. If you look at the time it will take you to be a registered nurse and the cost versus the time it will take you to be a medical doctor and the cost, before it becomes worth it with you taking out all those loans and paying off your loans and actually becoming in the green, because you have to think of these things that way, at least in my opinion, it wouldn't be well until my 40s before it was worth it financially. Even though doctors do make a huge amount of money based on the specialty, there's so much loans that go into it. And yeah, finances is not everything, it is a calling, but at the same time, if the rest of society felt that way, they would make med school free, They're capitalizing off of people wanting to actually make a difference and change the world. So I can't not take that into consideration when my livelihood and the financial status of me and my future family will come into it. So I do take that into consideration. So my second reason is the length of schooling. You got how long it takes to be a registered nurse and how long it takes to become a doctor. For me, it was easy. I'm into a lot of things. I'm a social guy. Just the thoughts of just throwing away my 20s and some of my 30s just for my career is something that I can't fathom. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I was a second degree student already. So I already had 4 years when I acquired my first bachelor's. To say that I'm going to go back to school and just dedicate my life to school for another 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, it's a no-brainer for me, man. There's no way. There's no way. In my 20s, I've traveled a lot of places. I've met a lot of people. I've done a lot of things. Just to know that wouldn't have been possible, or most of it wouldn't have been possible due to the fact that I wanted to go this route and chase this profession. It was a no-brainer for me, man. In all honesty, I couldn't do it. And I'm somebody that has a lot of older friends. I speak to a lot of older frat bros and things of that nature, and everyone will tell you that your 20s, your early 30s are your prime years. Take advantage of it, enjoy, experience things. And doctors miss out on a lot of that, man. I really, really salute doctors for, just sacrificing everything, sacrificing, a lot of experiences and a lot of memories to become a doctor. But for me, I wasn't going to do that, man. I really couldn't see myself doing that, in all honesty. But salute to all the doctors, man. I really respect you guys. The third reason is because I love being a registered nurse and I love our skill set. You know, I like being hands-on. I like being in the room, and doctors don't really get to do that. You know, unless like you're a surgeon or anesthesia. A lot of doctors don't get that hands-on experience. Like I love being in emergencies. You know, in codes. You know, codes are unfortunate situations, but I do like being placed in those situations and making things happen. You know, I like putting in IVs. I like putting in Foley's. Even wounds. I'm starting to like dressing wounds. When I first started as a nurse, I tried to stay away from wounds. That's something I couldn't get with. But now it's like I like dressing wounds. You know, hanging meds. You know, all these different type of things. I like being hands on. I like being in the room with the patient. So with doctors, what I've noticed, they come in the room, they say their piece, you know, they do their assessment, they explain exam results, and that's it. They leave the room. They don't get that. They don't get that one-on-one with the patient. They don't really get to know the patient, and that's something that I like to do. You know, I enjoy that type of stuff. I enjoy using my hands. So not being able to have that experience looking back, that's something that I would regret had I known how it is to be a registered nurse. You know, like I enjoy all that stuff and I wouldn't trade that for anything. And people could try to act like one is more fulfilling than the other, but you know, I completely disagree. As a registered nurse, I'm very fulfilled. You know, you have a patient that comes in and let's say they're in a lot of pain and they just could barely talk to you and you're the person actually administering the pain medication. Once they feel better and they got that smile on their face like, man, I feel so much better, like that helped a lot, you're there for that. You know, or a patient can't breathe and then you're at the bedside with respiratory, putting them on BiPAP or you know putting them on OptiFlow, and just you know, if they had chest pain or whatever the case may be, or just them just struggling to breathe, and now they could breathe now, and even if they can't talk as much, they just respond and they give you a smile, they give you a thumbs up, you're there for all of that. You know, so how could that not be fulfilling? So you know, I don't know, just certain things, just being at the bedside I just enjoy a lot. And you know, I feel like doctors are unfortunately not able to experience that as much as nurses. Not to say that they're not there at all, because you know doctors are in the room obviously, but I just feel like as a nurse you catch all those moments, you don't miss any of those. So yeah, those are my reasons as to why I chose to become a nurse instead of becoming a doctor. Again, this is no shade to any doctors. You understand what I'm saying? Like if you are in med school right now, if you just finished, if you want to become a doctor, go ahead and do it. This is an opinion-based video, and it's just my opinions and my preferences. You understand what I'm saying? Even when it comes to when I'm at work, sometimes I have a patient that really liked, you know, what I did for them or how I care for them, and then they'll say something like, "Oh man, you're great, man. Like you should become a doctor," and it's just like, no, it's not like I settled to be a nurse. Like I just don't want to be a doctor. Like I prefer being a nurse, at least right now. You know, like who knows how I'll feel in 5 years. But for me right now, being a nurse is what I want to do. It's what I am, and there's no debate when it comes to that. You know, yeah, guys, it's what it is. It's what it is. You know, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your opinion, your views. If you're a nurse out there, tell me why you chose it. If you're a doctor out there, tell me why you chose that, you know? And you guys stay cool till the next video, all right?